This episode is sponsored by Creative Distortion. It's an indie music show on a Saturday night on Sunny G Radio. I listened to this one myself. You can catch it online and there are links in the show notes, so go check it out. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals and other creative people to live a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 106. It's 3 more motivational messages from Abo Demi Demi.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
Yes, it's true. I'm back again today with another 3 motivational messages from YouTube sensation Abo Demi Demi, and that's partly because the last show I did of his, episode 96 during season 7, last season, and it's also partly, it did so well, I should say, I have to finish that sentence, and it's partly because, well, I like that show myself, and I just wanted to do more of it, to be honest. Demi Demi is a real character and he's a mover and shaker in the YouTube world with his viral video, Tough Times Never Last, Only Tough People Last. And he's also released hundreds of short, kind of 1 minute length motivational pieces there. And I'm visiting just 3 of them here today. I've previously visited 5 of them before and I just thought I'd visit another 3 today. His accent, however, I've got to forewarn you, for me, certainly, coming from Scotland, is a little bit hard to follow. So I have transcribed and will be reiterating his message using largely his own words after each piece. I'm going to give you a little quote from it, and then I'm going to explain what he's talking about in it. And as I say, it's based on his own language. And again, though, before I go into that, I should really cover what I'm going to do today. He's got 3. Learn to be quiet. Don't take people for granted. And you get what you focus on. And if you want to hear these again and again, you can find them in the show notes. I've got links to his main site, to his main YouTube channel, I should say, and I've got links to each one of the motivational speeches that I'm going to be covering today. But without further ado, as Demi Demi would say, I ask you to listen to this attentively.
But listen to this. Listen to this attentively. Learn to be quiet when you are winning. Not all hustlers are loud. Listen to this attentively. Learn to be quiet when you are winning. Not all hustlers are loud.
And I'll just cut him off quickly there because he quickly goes on to the next important thing. But his message here is learn to be quiet when you are winning. And again, I take the notes I'm about to give you here are a transcription, in effect, from what he says within his short motivational message. I'm going to put them across to you and then have a little chat about them. But he says, not all hustlers are loud. Hustlers being, grifters, winners, in effect. Listen to this. Learn to be quiet when you're winning. He says, not all hustlers are loud. It doesn't mean if you don't post your success that it's not happening. It doesn't mean if you don't talk about your success that it's not happening. Some of your downfall, he says, is because you're talking too much. Some of your downfall in life is because you're talking too much. You're talking about unnecessary things. It doesn't mean if you don't talk about your success, it doesn't mean if you don't post about it that it's not happening. That's the power he's talking about in this one, as he says, the power. And it's a lesson you learn. I like to think some of us learn quite early on in life. I know some people that are getting into their 60s, to be honest, that haven't still learned to be quiet. But on a film set or in a theatre show, for example, learning when not to speak is an early lesson to get on top of. And I think generally in life, of course, what he's talking about here is keeping your success quiet. If you're building something, you don't need to be telling everyone how wonderful you're doing. Keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. It doesn't mean, again, taking his words there, it doesn't mean if you're not talking about it, you're not posting about it in social media, that it's not happening. So try and keep an element of control there and learn to be quiet. Next up here, we have another one. So get your ears attuned. Here he comes again with Don't Take People for Granted.
But listen to this attentively. The very same person that you're taking for granted today, can be the very same person that you are going to need tomorrow. Learn to respect and value people. Listen to this attentively.
And that's a very, very valuable lesson for anyone. But again, I see it happening. I've had it happen to me really over the last couple of days. I had a job. I wasn't truly booked for 10 weeks, but I was asked to keep 10 weeks available for this very big television job that was coming in. I was certainly, maybe it was me filling in some gaps or whatever to give them, some due, but well, I'm not sure that's entirely true. But like, I kept my diary clear for 10 weeks thinking a huge job was coming in. And when it came down to it, I got 2 days out of 60 days that they're shooting. And I felt like I'd been taken for granted on that one. But I'm getting the cart before the horse, as they say. Here are the words that Demi Demi puts out there about this. He says the very same person that you've taken for granted today can be the very same person that you're going to need tomorrow. Learn to respect and value people. Listen to this. The very same person that you're taking for granted today can be the very same person that is going to be powerful and you're going to need tomorrow. So learn to value and respect people. Just because the sun is shining on you, you don't think about tomorrow it's going to be rain, he says. You're taking people for granted. The very same person is going to be the very same person that will say, welcome to the interview, you may take a seat. Learn to respect people. This tendency of yours, that tendency of yours that you always criticizing people, you're charging people. But yeah, today is the last day of February when you have achieved nothing. I don't know why he goes off on these ones. I'm just quoting them. Yeah, he's a real character. He's got so much going from. But he says, yeah, today's the last day of February, and what you've done, you've achieved nothing, but you have criticized more than 10 people. Learn to value and respect. Don't take people for granted. You think that if you're coming from a rich family, you need to take people for granted. Tomorrow, you're going to need them. And that's obviously his message. Yeah, taken for granted, a big, big thing. I experience it, and the unpleasantness of it, all the time in the film and TV world in Scotland. But what I say, and I have said to people, is look back at things like a fantastic Scottish film called Gregory's Girl. If you've not seen it out there, if you've not seen it, get a hold of Gregory's Girl. You'll absolutely love it. It was made in 1980, released 1981. John Gordon Sinclair, Claire Grogan, load of other brilliant actors in it, Scottish actors. Great fun, romantic kind of comedy there. But the two people that were, I think one was a runner and one was third or something, they became, more recently, head of Scottish television. And I could be wrong, but please correct me if I'm wrong about this. Head of STV, which was a while back, and the Scottish producer on the Stars show Outlander, Sam Hewn's show. I'm sure it belongs to other people, but I know Sam, so chuck it in there. These people who are potentially getting pushed around and, running for your coffee, they become the people in charge somewhere down the line. You need to treat people with respect. Don't take people for granted, and that's a great message there from Demi Demi. Anyway, without further ado, one final message here from the man himself. You get what you focus on.
But listen to this. Listen to this attentively. In life, you get what you focus on. If you're busy focusing on who's doing what, who's sleeping with who's jolling with who beat Casper, you will get that show that you want to get.
And I found that a particularly hard one to pull apart. It's just the accent. I did a little bit of research on where Demi Demi comes from, and I think it's South Africa. But see, please, if someone knows, please let me know. I have messaged him actually, but I'll see if I can actually get him on. But I do worry that I won't be able to follow his accent. But anyway, he was talking about there, but you get what you focus on, and he says, in life you get what you focus on. If you're busy focusing on who's doing what, who's sleeping with who's struggling with who beat Casper, I don't know what he's talking about, but that seems to me what he's saying. But if you're gossiping, basically, you'll get that you want to get. You will never achieve nothing. So since you've been criticizing people since from the last year, you've been gossiping about people, you're not working, you're not married, you are just a big gossip. I sometimes think he's talking about specific people when he goes off on these ones. You get what I mean when you watch a few of them. But anyway, you're just a big gossip. You will get that which you want to see. In life, you get what you focus on. If you're busy checking who's flying to Dubai, the weather, people, etc., you will get that show that you want to see. He says, focus on the positive things. Focus on positive things that are leading you to success. That's the power. That's the power. And you get what you focus on is a very, very key part of productivity. It comes back again and again and again. If you're focusing on negative things, that's what will come right back at you. He's completely right. If you're focusing on the positive things and focusing on moving forward, that's what's going to bring you success. And it is a power. I don't do these episodes with Demi Demi. They might feel like I'm being silly or something, but actually the messages he's given are extremely strong messages. They're very basic. He does it in 1 minute. I take like 10 minutes these days to do these ones, but they're important messages. So anyway, your call to action today is to consider just one of his messages. Learn to be quiet. Don't take people for granted, or you get what you focus on, and apply that to your life this week. And I ask for nothing more or less of you. And if you like, as I say, what you've heard here and you want to hear more from Demi Demi, I'll be posting links to Demi Demi's YouTube channel in the show notes and individual links to each of the shows that I've put in the spotlight today. So please go there and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. You might also want to go back and listen to episode 96 if you've missed that one, which focuses on 5 of Demi Demi's messages in the same way that I've done here today. And that's us for just now. But on next week's show, I think I'm going to be talking about practice. I've not written the episode yet. I've not worked on it, but I think I'm going to be doing one about practice making perfect, as we all know. But I'll end today with some more wise words from Demi Demi, who offers this great advice for life and business. Let them think that you are a sardines. When you come in slowly, boom, they see that you're a big fish. That's one of the best places that one can have in life, to be underestimated. Now take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The executive producer on this season is David Richard Thompson, and the music that you're listening to right now is Adventures by Himitsu. Don't forget, folks, that you can follow the show on Twitter at FilmProProdPod, or on Facebook if you prefer at FilmPro Productivity. And there's a full transcript of this episode and of every episode really on the official website, only on the official website at filmproproductivity.com. Please continue to support the show by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review. Thanks.